Good morning, everybody. How are we all doing? Sam here, United People's TV. Now, today I am actually a couple of minutes late because the press release was just released about Luke Shaw signing his new contract. I'll bring that live and direct for you here. We'll speak about Jeremie Frimpong after confirmation yesterday from what's the name of the journalist? Is it Pletigol? Patrick, but no, it's not Patrick. Oh, it's Patrick Berger. Yeah. Anyway, we've spoken about Jeremie Frimpong before. The Bayer Leverkusen right back, right winger in a 3-5-2 system. We'll speak about him. We'll speak about Spurs being Spurs last night. We'll speak about the game coming up tomorrow. You can probably hear some drilling, some soaring going on over there. Today's the last live stream for a week because I know, selfishly, I'm going away for a week. I'm unbelievable. It's a genuine sacking offence. But I'm looking forward to today's live show, as always, and we'll run through it. Now, who's down there in the comments? Good morning to the community. Bully, I can see you there. Craig Peterson. We've got Ruman, Petek, not Petek, Petek, Pete K. Neil Driscoll. I see you having trouble joining as a member, dude. I don't know what's going on there. If a mod can please help Neil, that will help. T, I can see you there. And Josh, I can see all of you down in the comments. I always peep. I'm always lurking in the background, looking at the comments before I go live. And typically, it's a great place. Not this week. Everybody is aggy, I'll say, is the best word. People are looking for... I don't know what people are looking for, but people are angry, I suppose, after the 2-0 defeat to Newcastle. Because, man, let's be honest, Man United's Premier League performances since the League Cup final, we've dropped off the edge. It's almost like that game was the crescendo of our season. You know, I said that before that final, and it felt like it. And it's shown. It's shown that. That's what we were aiming towards and gearing towards. And since then, we've struggled to really find our feet. And it's created this... I'm not going to use the word toxic, because it's not the word toxic. But it's just frustration, I suppose. We'll speak about it all in a bit more detail. But let's speak about the news that was breaking that made me a little bit late this morning. This is the press release. Look at that. Straight into my inbox. So let's bring this up. Gerald saying, this is yesterday's news. Sorry, man. Off you pop then. If you're bored, you know where to go. Robert Donovan on Facebook asking, is there a way to get subtitles? Am I that bad? Jeez. I don't know. If there is, I'm sure they'll be on Facebook. Let's read through the press release that's just been released by Manchester United with confirmation that Luke Shaw has signed a new 4-year contract. What's your reaction and thoughts on Shaw signing a new deal? If we're looking at Shaw's career at Manchester United, it's been mad, isn't it? It's been like that from the positive starts to the... I'll always remember how good Shaw and Memphis looked down that left flank prior to Luke Shaw's double leg break against PSV. It's my first European away game, that. Absolutely abysmal place. No offence to Eindhoven, proper industrial. Bit like St Etienne. Anyway, Luke Shaw had that real positive at the start, then the double leg break, then he came back, then Mourinho was an absolute arse to him. It was proper tough love. Built some more resilience, I suppose. And then he went on and had an absolute stunner of a season under Solskjaer. And then that World Cup. Was it a World Cup? Was it the Euros? It was the Euros, wasn't it? And then an absolutely horrendous season. And then if you look at him this season, up until, I don't know when it was. Maybe the League Cup final? Maybe a little bit before that. His form was excellent. His form's massively dipped in his last few games as well. But Luke Shaw has signed a new 4-year contract. Let's read through what he has said and what the press release says, all right? Let's go. Manchester United is pleased to announce that Luke Shaw has signed a new contract that would extend his stay at the club until June 2027. So that's a 4-year contract. He said, 9 years ago, I signed for this amazing club. I'm thrilled to extend my stay. I've grown immensely since coming to United all those years ago, both as a person and a player. I know what is needed to succeed at a club like this. We're at the beginning of our journey under the manager and his coaching staff. Now, Luke Shaw has impressed me, I'll be honest, he's really impressed me with the ball progression. If you're looking at the stats and you're looking at how Ten Hag wants to play, he's learning a new role this season under Ten Hag, the inverted fullback, the Pep Guardiola type system, where the fullbacks drop inside to give an extra body, create overloads in attack, instead of just holding out and just going on the overlaps up and down the left flank. It's brilliant. I think he's been improving this season. I'm not surprised that he signed that new deal. And if you imagine what Luke Shaw did, remember those games where he played centre back against City and Barcelona? I think Ten Hag looks at Luke Shaw and realizes that he has a player that he can really genuinely rely on. And I think that's all credit to Luke Shaw and how much he's improved this season. You can let me know what you think in the comments. I head over. Oh, geez, that's my voice there. Head over here so I make sure I don't miss any. I saw people going down there, mate. What is Jay? You did this yesterday, dude. I think you've stolen Gungshi's secret card, mate. What an absolute ledge. Jay gifting 50 down here. That's a holiday gong, that one. That's the last time the gong is going to go into retirement for a little bit, man. Just, at this point, just smack the gong on the floor. I may as well just tear it up. And, mate, Jay, you're an absolute hero, man. Absolute hero. I love this community. I saw my good friends, James and Flav, doing their first live show on Monday. It got me thinking about doing one in the future with the community that we've built here. That'd be awesome to do that at some point. And Jay, you'd definitely be there. All of you would be there. All the OGs, and Josh and T, Gungshi, of course, and so many new faces, legends, all of you. It's yeah, man. This community is awesome. It really, really is. That's what I want to say. And all the negativity that there's been this week since the Newcastle defeat. I did a video yesterday, and I was going to speak about it a little bit later in the show, but I suppose I can speak about it now. I did this video yesterday, and my word, I remember when I sort of, I was sitting on the fence around Ronaldo for quite a while until I wasn't. And I was like, no, sod this. He needs to leave. He needs to go out of the club. And I got dogs abuse. I got dogs abuse from so many people who are really defending him. And I think the De Gea situation is, I really don't like comparing the De Gea and Ronaldo situations because they're incomparable in the sense that De Gea's done nothing wrong. Like Ronaldo was a dick. You might love him for the goals that the way he acted was petulant, childish, and he deserved to be sacked. De Gea's not done anything. However, I feel pretty firm that he's a major part of the problem. And I did it yesterday, and my word, did I get abuse. I got abuse. It feels like you can't really say too much against David De Gea. And people are trying to accuse me of saying, oh, Sam, you're just looking at De Gea. You're not even looking at midfielders. I did an entire video explaining how that is part of the problem, how our midfielders don't show for the ball. But no, people just take what they see on, I suppose that's football Twitter for you. It's just, you just kind of got to deal with what you deal with, right? But last night, Man United, our form has been pretty poop in the league. Yet still we're fourth. Thank you very much, Michael Keane, yesterday for that absolute screamer of an equaliser for Everton, taking 2 more points off Spurs. That means they've now dropped 4 points in their last 2 games. And Manchester United, currently, we're in 5th on goal difference. And my word, our goal difference is paltry. We've scored the same amount of goals as Newcastle, but conceded nearly just with 1 goal shy of conceding double the amount of goals that Newcastle have conceded. My God, their defense has been good this season. Fair play to them. And I thought their defense was good, very, very good against Manchester United. But Spurs, right? There was such an angry reaction to the Newcastle defeat, rightly so. The fact of the matter is this, and this is a truth. Top 4 is totally Manchester United's to lose. All right? Completely Manchester United's to lose. We take a quick look here at the fixtures that Spurs have got coming up, right? And look at this 7-day period. Because they're so naff this season, Spurs are normally, look, they've got 5 days between those 2 games. They got 7 days between Brighton at home, by the way, tough game to get to Bournemouth at home. But look at this, 23rd to the 30th of April, they play Newcastle away, right? That there is a huge game. Ideal situation. We're looking at a draw there. 2 points drop for Newcastle and Spurs. Happy days. But look at the 2 games they play after. That game where United play away to Spurs. We need a repeat of that Spurs performance, which still, for me, probably stands out as the single most complete performance this season. That Spurs game at home. That was when we made Spurs crap themselves. We pressed with such intensity from the first minute. That was where Fred scored. I think Fred got man of the match. That game there, away at Spurs, wow. Our away form has been abysmal. Abysmal. You know it has. But look at that. They play Newcastle away, then United at home, and then they play Liverpool away 3 days later. This Premier League top 4 race is completely open now, right? We have been dragged into a race because we lost at Newcastle. I expected Newcastle to fade away in the same way that all of us, let's be honest, expected Arsenal to fade away. Arsenal haven't faded away. Newcastle, they're looking as strong as they have done all season. Look at their form. They've won 3 and a bounce, including beating us comfortably. Newcastle look good for it. I expected them to fail, but they haven't. I expected Arsenal to fail, but they haven't. There's a couple of surprises in the Premier League this season. But Spurs, they're all over the shop. They just sacked their manager. They've kept the assistant manager to replace the manager. And lo and behold, the same problems still exist. Now, Doucouré, that's a straight red, right? So he's going to be missing for United's game. That's a big one. Let me go and see what else you're saying in the comments. I think there's a couple more legends down here gifting memberships. Let me make sure I don't miss these. Let's see what's down here. 1 second. I did. Bully. Yeah, man. How you doing, Bully? Thank you so much, man. You gifted 5 to Amira, Marin, Sidan, Toby. You got some there. Mate, thank you so much, Bully. And Jay, I'll say it one more time. Hero, man. Hero. I can't wait to start doing more content just for the members. I want to really expand. The community we're building is so tight. It's like a family. It's wicked. It's really, really. Let me see what you're saying down here. And you have been some serious doom mongering these last couple of days. I didn't say it yesterday. I think I saw your comment yesterday. You've got this sneaky feeling that we're going to lose or draw 7 out of our next 9 games. You've got this sneaky feeling that the Glazers are going to stay, that Shaw's contract is an Ed Woodward type move. Come on, man. You can have some positivity about Manchester United. It's not illegal. It just cracks me up. It really, really cracks me up. Rob Holiday, as I said, that big up, congratulations to James and Flav. I've already mentioned that before. Used to work together. Great lads, doing their first live, Jaffin live. What was it, Temple Bar in London yesterday? I was going to go, but hey, I'm a little bit busy. Come on. If I wasn't going away, I would have gone. Today, the 2 main talking points I want to run through now. Just a little. This isn't a massive, huge update on the takeover. That's why I've not sold it like that. I'm explaining to you what the latest on the takeover is. Now, the short answer is not much really has changed from where we were last week. Okay, it was not the Saturday just gone. It was a Saturday before. That's when the second bids went in, and we were all like, "No, there's going to be an update. It's going to be an update." However, there hasn't really been too much. And now we're hearing... Now, this is from Jamie Jackson from The Guardian. Yep. All right. Questionable. But the Glazers... I've spoken about this so often with all of you, right? It does not... The Glazers staying at Manchester United, it feels like it's being used as a scare tactic, right? Genuinely, it feels like that. Because there really isn't much business logic to it. And that's the thing that always drags me back. While I might have that fear that the Glazers are going to stay, I take a step back and I realize that it really doesn't make sense for them in any way, shape or form. Manchester United is at its peak of valuation right now without any more investment going in. It cannot and will not get higher in value than it is right now. It's only going to go downhill in value. All right. Add into the fact that they're talking about the banking crisis. I actually spoke to you about this quite a couple of weeks ago, as soon as it came out. Who was it? It was Credit Suisse. That was a bank that sort of collapsed and was saved, a massive bailout. And then there was another one in America as well. It's it's not good. I've told you, I'm renewing my mortgage in, what is it, August? Boring, I know. August time, and the interest rates are going to be double, triple the 2-year rate I signed 2 years ago. Everybody's feeling the squeeze, and we're on a little micro scale with just mortgages and our own cost of living crisis, let alone the actual whole lending market. It's massively volatile at this moment in time, and it's just, you can hear this for me just looks like nothing more than a scare tactic, a fear tactic. Oh, we might stay. You won't stay. There's no from their greedy perspective, now is the peak greedy. They're not going to get any more peak greedy. That doesn't make any sense. They're not going to get any more money. Absolutely not going to get any more money than right now. And that's the thing that always sort of grounds me. And that's what I would encourage you to think as well. You might be Peter down there should have done a 5-year. Thanks, Captain Hindsight. I appreciate that. Anyway, that's what I would encourage you to do. Like, don't get too worried. Hey, look, famous last words here from Sam. Don't get too worried that the Glazers are going to stay. I don't think they will. I don't think they really can, honestly. And that's the thing that keeps reverberating in my head. And that's what I want to speak to you about. Ewald saying, have a beer on me for your holiday. Mate, thank you so much, man. I'm going to have plenty of beer. I can't wait. I haven't had a holiday when was the last time I was abroad? Can't remember. When was the last time all of you were abroad? You can let me know in the comments. Man, a couple of you. I genuinely will miss doing these every single day. I love waking up. I love doing the research. I love interacting with all of you every single morning. Akil, you've just gifted 5 memberships down there. Thank you so much, dude. Akil, it's a cool name, man. MVP. Very nice. Oh, wow. Look at that as well, mate. It's final. Geez, we need to get the gong out. I need to get a new gong. Maybe I'll come back from Morocco with something better than a gong. A rug? Won't really make much noise, will it? Teapot? Nah, not really much. Spain for the Europa. Oh, yeah, that's true. It's true. No, the last time I went abroad, I think, was Cyprus for the Nicosia Omonia game. That was a fun fact. Julie, you're coming to the UK in August and September. Awesome. Jibak, you're going to Italy tomorrow. Hey, look, everyone's getting away. Look at that. Look at that. Andrew, you're saying, hope you've done some videos while you're away on your jolly. Andrew, don't you have to worry about that. I might not be here for the lives, but I will be doing videos most days out there, all right? Be a different backdrop. It'll be cool. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to getting a little bit of a break, but the content will still be going out because there's so much going on right now. I can't just ignore it, and I won't just ignore it. This is what Simon Stone is saying on the sale, and he's saying, look, it doesn't really matter what goes on at Manchester United this season. Sheikh Jassim, he's still committed. Jim Ratcliffe and Ineos, they're still committed. There really isn't too much of a, I don't know. This is all just instinct, right? This is not me being in the know. I've never pretended to be in the know. I've never suggested I've ever been in the know. I still think that the Manchester United is going to be sold. I think the Glazers are going to be gone by the time that the summer comes around. I can't predict who the new owner is going to be. I think a lot of us feel that the Qatari bid is the strongest bid, and I can understand that because of the financials behind it. But maybe there is more strength to the Jim Ratcliffe and Ineos bid than we give credit for. And we won't know that until this third round. We're basically stuck in limbo. We're waiting for that third round. Will it be that somebody gets put forward as a preferred bidder, maybe in a period of exclusivity? We don't know the numbers, so we can't know that. We're hoping that at the very least, what I'm hoping for this next stage, which should happen at some point this week, I imagine at some point this week, when I'm out in Morocco, I'm going to be doing a video about a big update on the sale of Manchester United. Fingers crossed, a positive update. At the very least, what I want to happen is for when we go to that third round, ideally that we don't have Elliot management there and that we only have Sheikh Jassim and Jim Ratcliffe, because at that point, it means the only thing that the Glazers are looking towards, is a full sale of Manchester United. And that in itself would show their hand. That would show their intentions of selling the club. And that's what I'm hoping for at the very, very least. That's what I think. So anyway, Akil, you're saying, Sam, you need to try and get an alert that comes up on screen when people make a donation or something. Thank you very much for sending that super chat in. And Akil, I'll tell you all now, this is why I'm working so hard in the background on improving and upgrading all the software I'm using. Right now, everything is manual, but I'm building everything out so that it's all going to be on screen. It's exactly what Akil is describing there. So thank you so much for sending that across, Akil. And big up, by the way, for your super chat, dude. And big up for your mate. Just legends. Jonathan, get a Batman style PO that'll be flashing up. Get like some beam light. Jonathan Jonkman, how you doing, buddy? You're saying my last trip abroad was Istanbul last September. We'll have a little holiday chat at the end of the show. You can let me know where you've been. Mark Fossey, you went Amsterdam a couple of months ago. I'm going to Amsterdam in June? May or June. Going for a weekend. In on the Friday, out on the Sunday. I love Amsterdam. Anybody based in Amsterdam, some Reds, let me know where you are. I can come meet you. We can have some drinks. Why not? And if there's any Reds, I think I said it before. If there's any Reds out in Marrakesh, let me know. We can meet up after the end of Ramadan, breaking the fast. But look, let's speak about Jeremie Frimpong. Well, I've spoken about Jeremie Frimpong before, right? I'll pull this one up. This is a video I did 5 months ago around Jeremie Frimpong. So this is not the first time that we are speaking about him. Okay. And it won't be the last time, I don't think. We spoke about him before the January transfer window. He is a seriously aggressive, in terms of how he plays, aggressive right back who's more like a right winger. And we're hearing this from Plettigol, who I believe works for, is it Bundesliga? Bundesliga? I might be making it up. Anyway, Patrick Berger as well, who writes for, do you write for Build? No, Chief Reporter Sport 1. Bayer Leverkusen looking towards selling Jeremie Frimpong. Now, this is, as I said, this is not the first time we've heard this, and I don't think it will be the last time. Now, they've already signed a new right back who's coming in the summer. Arthur, who they signed from. Who are they signing from? America MG. So they are going to be looking to shift him on. Now, if you don't know who Jeremie Frimpong is, look where he plays for Bayer Leverkusen. Okay, this is Bayer Leverkusen's most latest formation. They lost 3-0 at the weekend to Schalke away from home. Jeremie Frimpong plays on the right in a 3-5-2 system. Well, they got it down as a 3-4-3. Same thing, wing back system. He plays as a wing back, right? He is not a right back. One look at his stats will show you exactly where his strengths lie. I mean, look how high and impressive he is in these areas, right? Look at this. If you want to look at where Erik Ten Hag is going, hello, yes, please. Progressive carries and successful take-ons compared to all other fullbacks over the last 365 days, there pretty much is nobody better than Jeremie Frimpong in terms of progressing the ball forward, in terms of successfully skipping past his player, dribbling past his player. Nobody has more touches in the attacking penalty area than him. He is a dangerous right back from the offensive perspective. However, I'm laughing because it's not particularly funny, but he is not the best defensive right back. Now, you'll remember, or maybe you don't, Ronald Koeman left him out of the latest Dutch squad that he called up. And he explained why, right? He explained it here. He goes, it has to do with the system. He's more of a right winger than a right back. And my right back has to be able to defend very well in the first instance. He has played too few games in a four-man defense. Defending in particular raises doubts. That's why Ronald Koeman left Jeremie Frimpong out of their squad. And as I've shown there, and as has been the case, he very much is a right winger more than a right back. Now, you'll know that David Ornstein, we covered this yesterday, saying that if Manchester United can get our main business done this summer, right? Our main business, number one, the top class number 9. That's our main bit of business. We need a new striker. Everybody knows that. Number 2, according to David Ornstein, is a number 8 style midfielder. Now, the number 8 is typically your box-to-box midfielder. Someone like Toni Kroos, someone like Luka Modric, not going to be either of those two, but that sort of mold of player. We know that player, that playmaker, that person who could, basically, I think the person who could do what Bruno Fernandes can do in the opposition's half, but can do it pretty much across the whole pitch, because Bruno can't do that from deep. Ten Hag has sort of toyed with the idea. Could Bruno play as a number 8? And he's tried it in these last couple of games without Casemiro and Eriksen. The answer is no. Bruno is not a number 8. Bruno is a number 10. And that's where his strengths lie. Doesn't make him a bad player, just he's not a number 8. So Ten Hag is going to be signing one. And if that is the case, then I think, the number 6, that midfielder who is going to receive the ball from the defense and bring it out from the back, it means that number 6 next season is probably going to be Casemiro or Eriksen, sort of dovetailing each other. One in, one out. And it will always be Casemiro, pretty much. So Eriksen won't be starting as many games next year. That's what we need. We need to be out. That's what's contributed. Not really contributed to his injury, because that was just an assault from Andy Carroll. But Eriksen has been playing way too much. I think that's kind of how Ten Hag is looking at this summer in terms of midfielder. He's probably thinking, I've got enough in terms of receiving the ball from the defense if I can have Casemiro or Eriksen. But who could that number 8 be? Now, there's a name down there which quite a few of you are mentioning, and I'll be honest, I think you're all completely right. Jude Bellingham. You're not going to get a better... I mean, is Jude Bellingham a number 8? If you were going to give a number, if you want, right? If you were going to give a number to Jude Bellingham's position, what would you give him? Because he's not a number 6. And he's definitely not a number 10. So you probably would say that Jude Bellingham is a number 8 type midfielder. That player who can equally as much add strength to a defensive transition as much as he can to an attacking transition. I think pretty much Jude Bellingham is the definition of a number 8. Gary, you're down there saying he's everything. I think he really is everything. And if we're looking at the concept of a number 8 signing, Bellingham is your guy. He ticks every single box there. Unfortunately, everybody's going to be going after Jude Bellingham. Genuinely, right? Try not to go too crazy in the comments here. I'll be interested, though. How much do you think Jude Bellingham goes for this summer? Because Enzo Fernandez went for what? Was it 120 million? I think it was 120 million euros. So I think that just means that whoever buys Jude Bellingham, the price is going to be outrageous. Outrageous. Liverpool are going to want him. Probably won't be able to afford him. City are going to want him. Real Madrid are probably going to want him. I don't think there's a team that's not going to want him. I'm going to go down here and I'm going to put a few of your comments up on screen. Let me see what you're saying. Brian, you're saying 160. Some guy, you're saying 140. $120. That is cheap, Ray. Very cheap. 150 easy, says Jonkman. Ewald, you're saying 130 to 150. The exact same there as Mark. Chris, you're going 150 plus 120, 100, 170, 130. I'll be honest. I think you're probably looking at the 150. I think you really are. And that is such a madness. And there's no logic to it. It's just that the Enzo Fernandez deal to Chelsea has just blown everything out of the water. Jonathan, you're saying nobody is paying 150 million. dude, like Dortmund have got all the cards. All the cards. His contract doesn't run out for a while, does it? Let me quickly check that. Transfer marks. Jude Bellingham. His contract runs out in 2025. So they're calm. They got a couple of years. Oh, yeah, Inez, I always forget to mention it. Thank you very much for mentioning that down there. Yes, we announced it yesterday. I'll be totally honest. I think what I realized is I probably should have done a bit of a different style of giveaway, because last month we gave away a PS5. So I was like, what can be bigger and better? So I just went for something. I just went for something bigger, and that was the Xbox Series X, which we are giving away. It's a raffle. It's £1. I've just dropped the link down there. I'd love it if you entered the draw. You're all supporting the channel, and somebody, as I said, it was Umit who won it. Hopefully, you should be receiving that today. By the way, Umit, if you're watching, posted it yesterday. Won a PS5 for a £5. It's incredible. Let me see what you're saying down here. Liam, you're saying it's crazy what you have to spend now for potential. That's the difference in transfers these days. You don't just pay for what the player is now. You have to pay a little bit about what that player could become, which I don't like, but that's just the way the transfers have gone. It's just the way that transfers have gone. It is a lot of it's Samra down here. Dude, I don't care. I do not care. Man, people try and drag it. Let's have a debate about PlayStation versus Xbox. All right, that's a different channel altogether. And asking whether or not Bellingham is in pre-contract talks with Real Madrid. I mean, is he? I haven't heard that. You heard that, anybody? I've not heard that. Anyway, Jeremie Frimpong, right? This is not going to be the last time that we speak about him. And I would probably put him down as a Tyrell Malacia type signing. And the reason I'm saying that is because I think you're looking at Jeremie Frimpong and you're somewhere between, I don't know, 15 to 20 million. What do you reckon is a fair price for Jeremie Frimpong? 20 million there or thereabouts. So if Manchester United do manage to sell Aaron Wan-Bissaka, get some money in, and then buy Jeremie Frimpong, you're not looking at a massive outlay. You really aren't looking at a massive outlay. I think if you are, you might be looking at somewhere in the 10 million mark, 10, 50. There shouldn't be much money spent if we sell Wan-Bissaka and use that funds and supplement it with a little bit of cash for Jeremie Frimpong. And I would put him in the same category as Malacia. I don't think that Jeremie Frimpong is going to come in and start every single game for Manchester United next year. But neither is Malacia. His best form for United came in those 4 games after Brentford, wasn't it? That was when he played Liverpool, Arsenal. I think it was Southampton and Leicester, if I remember correctly. And I think he's a smart signing. He's the right profile, right attitude, right. Yeah, the profile as well fits. Said that twice. I don't think Frimpong's going to come in and pull up trees at Manchester United. But would I be a bit more confident and comfortable with Dalot and Frimpong as a combination? Hey, look, Wan-Bissaka has made me eat humble pie this year. Has that changed my overall opinion that Wan-Bissaka doesn't quite fit? I'll be honest, I'm a little bit concerned about Diogo Dalot's form. Since the World Cup, Dalot has really regressed. I don't know what that is. I don't know what's caused that. I know he's had a couple of injuries. That hasn't helped. Wan-Bissaka's form kept him out of the team. Kind of surprised by Dalot. But I'm not totally sold on Diogo Dalot in the long term at Manchester United. I don't think I ever will be sold on Wan-Bissaka in the long term at Manchester United. So I think there's just questions. There's just questions about all of our right backs. But Jeremie Frimpong, I think that I can understand the logic of a smart signing there. As I said, I covered it five months ago. Man, look at that. That was after the Chelsea game. That was a cool video. Good thumbnail as well, if I do say so myself. Frimpong, I can understand it. And I want United to be making more signings, not just more signings like Frimpong, like cheap, blah, blah, blah. But it's not always just about, geez, we've got more experience than most teams at this. It isn't just about going out, spending the big bucks. Go out and spend 100 mil on Kane. Go out and spend 150 mil on Bellingham. They're the jewels in the crown type players. Manchester United don't currently have a crown. We need to build the crown. And there's this squad requires depth. You don't get depth if you spunk your whole budget on one or two players. Frimpong, I can understand the logic behind it. Let's see if it continues. But as I said, there's strong reports coming out from the German press that Manchester United are in talks with his agent, and there's been conversations around Benjamin Pavard as well from Bayern Munich. And this is what Thomas Tuchel actually said yesterday about him. He goes, he's an underrated player. He can adapt at an extremely high level, defends with big discipline. He is a top team player. He immediately got my trust, and he justified it. That should be a clear statement. So Tuchel making it clear that he sees a future for Benjamin Pavard at Bayern Munich, so maybe nothing more is going to happen there. And you're down there correctly mentioning Ethan Laird. Ethan Laird, I wanted him to leave QPR as soon as Midfield went to Rangers. As soon as he went to Rangers. And what's happened since? QPR, are they in a relegation scrap now? Let me see what the championship table's saying. How they managed to do that? My word, that is a drop-off. Yeah, they are. So they are... That's a bit of drilling. You can probably hear that. They're 19th at the moment, and they are 3 points off the relegation zone, I believe. As much as Ethan Laird enjoyed a really strong loan spell at QPR at the start, my God, they've been absolutely woeful since. Pavard is slow in the Premier League. He's got no chance. Everyone's got their opinions on players, I suppose. And just like I've got my opinion on De Gea, and not everybody agrees with that. I think you know by now, really, that I'm someone who kind of, I prefer to sit on the fence. I prefer to point out one side of an argument and the other side of an argument, and I present them so that we as a community and you as a community in the comments, you can decide yourselves rather than just sort of like shoving my opinion down your throat. I realize I've probably taken a bit of a different stance here with David De Gea because I feel really, really strongly about it. Like it's something that I've just been sitting on all season long. And I feel pretty strongly. And just like the Ronaldo situation and the abuse I got there, my word, I'm getting some De Gea abuse too. Let me see what you're saying down here in the comments, though. Neil, you're saying you think that 10 players need to be sold. I already did my keep or sell list last week. I said, look, I'm going to reassess that in a couple of months' time, see if anything has changed. Maybe Delone now goes on a blistering 2-month streak. Maybe Wan-Bissaka does. We don't know. We're going to have to reassess. Jay, you're saying our performance against Newcastle was so Ragnick-like. It certainly wasn't the Manchester United that won the League Cup, was it? Because there have been different forms of United. It's almost shock horror here. It's almost like this is Ten Hag's first season. It's almost like this team isn't complete. And it's almost like we're pretty much relying on Casemiro and Eriksen to change everything that happens on the pitch. Almost. I'm not sure though. I can't be confirmed. I can't be guaranteed here of what I'm saying. That's exactly what it is. Casemiro has transformed the mentality and how we play on the pitch, and so has Eriksen. Can't wait to get Eriksen back in particular. Actually, no. Who are you looking forward to getting back the most? I mean, I actually kind of think that's a bit of a rhetorical question, isn't it? Casemiro. It is Casemiro. But Eriksen, man, that playmaking from deep. Bruno, seeing Bruno drop that much deeper, I find it painful. Because then people give him dog's abuse. Absolutely abuse him. Oh, he's so shit. Oh, listen. It's like, mate, he's just trying to do... Bruno this season has tried to do a job to help this team in like 4 or 5 games. He hasn't been able to do it. But he will never say no to the manager if the manager asks him. Play on the right wing. All right, cool. Playing double pivot alongside. Right, cool. I'll do that too. I love Bruno, man. I love Bruno. And going forward, just play Bruno the number 10. We can't do that unless we've got Casemiro and Eriksen back. Give me that midfield trio, baby. I want Casemiro. I want Eriksen. I want Bruno. I want this team to be back to what it was. We've got, what, 2 games now? We've got to navigate Brentford and Everton. I'll be honest. Let's have a little bit of a preview, eh? A quick 5-minute chat about the Brentford game. What's your feeling around it? You let me know. I'm going to go down here and see what you're saying in the comments. Dean, you're saying either of them is what I'm looking forward to being. It's going to be amazing when we get them both back. There will be a time this season, fingers crossed, fitness. And Casemiro, don't go get another red card. Damn it. Anyway, if they're both back and Bruno's fit, that midfield trio, man. We need them back. Jesper is saying, when Eriksen got injured, Ten Hag had to change the way we play, more defensively sound. We don't control match in the same way. Hey, look, Ten Hag has done that before, right? You remember well, of course you do, the defeat to Brentford. After that, Ten Hag switched it up. We started playing a bit more direct. He kind of went away from his principles of playing out from the back, said, okay, it's not going to work with this team. And we played a bit more direct, and it worked. 4 wins in a bounce, beat Arsenal, beat Liverpool. Brilliant. So he can adapt, and he has adapted. I don't think he wants to adapt at this point in the season because he's like, well, what am I adapting for? But maybe he does have to. Maybe without Casemiro and Eriksen, it seems very likely that the problems that we saw against Newcastle, we are going to see on Wednesday night. Brentford, they are an aggressive pressing team. They would have watched that Newcastle performance and gone, well, we can do that. They play that arguably more intensely than Newcastle. De Gea is going to have no time on the ball. And if McTominay and Sabitzer are shadows and don't give him the option, then we're just going to lose the ball. And it's going to be the same thing. I do not think it's going to be an enjoyable game on Wednesday. I'll take let me see what you're saying. Paulie, you're saying better be a reaction to the Newcastle result. It was a piss ball. We need a 180 from that. Brian, you're saying you're predicting a Brentford win. Andrew, you're saying after Newcastle, I'm preparing myself for a tough game. Dan, you're saying struggle to a draw against Brentford, maybe nicking a win against Everton. Neither of these games are going to be easy, but both of these games are at home. Man, that's a big, big thing. That is a seriously important factor in all of this. I'd absolutely predict us to lose against Everton if we were playing at Goodison Park. Really close, tight, nervous. One change that definitely, look, my starting 11 video is going to go out after this, right? It's going to be the last video I do in the wonderful studio before I head away for a week. Weghorst has got to be dropped, right? You know full well that I found myself defending Weghorst amongst fierce criticism quite a lot this season, quite a lot. Because I think people's expectations of a player we signed on loan in January were pretty unrealistic. And if you're looking at how Manchester United have played with Weghorst in the team, the record speaks for itself. Manchester United have been overall a better team without Weghorst in than without him. Is he a better player than Ronaldo? Nope. Not even close. Is Manchester United a better team with Weghorst rather than Ronaldo? Yes. Yes, we are. And it goes to show you, it's the perfect example that a team that is made up of just the best 11 players will not necessarily be the best team. That's the perfect example to prove that. Because Weghorst is not a better player. So technically the team is weaker, but it hasn't been. However, just the idea of starting Weghorst every single week now, without question, that isn't the case anymore. And Martial's return is pretty much the main reason I'm saying that. This season, right, if you've got to think about it. Like if we go back here and we look at the thing that I find most concerning about all of this is that bit there. Our goal difference, right, is +4. Let's go down there and see who's got +4. Absolutely atrocious. Spurs have got 10 more goals than we have. Again, it's almost like Erik ten Hag went into this season planning with Anthony Martial and Cristiano Ronaldo as his two striking options. And he's thinking, you know what? I can do this. Yeah, this is enough. And what has happened? Ronaldo threw his toys out the pram, acted like a child, and got himself booted out of the club because he didn't want to be here. And he was never fit, never 100% Ronaldo fit at any point this season. So Ronaldo's not been an option for him. And Martial has missed, what, 80% of Premier League games since the start of the season? And then we had to sign Weghorst on loan in January because we were skint. We've played this whole season pretty much, apart from a couple of games, without a top-class fit number 9. And we are still, in my opinion, favourites for that top 4. Imagine what we could do next year when we've got that striker. Imagine what we could do next year if we nail this summer. Get that striker in. Get that number 8 in if you want to get, if it's going to be that number 8. And hell, look, get that right back in. I personally feel that we should be getting a goalkeeper this summer. Doesn't look like we're going to be doing it at this moment in time. But Weghorst, for the team play and enabling other players and doing the graft, he's doing the basics. And he's always done the basics right. However, and it's always been said that scoring goals is the hardest thing in football. Well, yeah, Weghorst has kind of shown that. But Martial, if he's fit, get him straight back in that team, man. I remember how we played in pre-season. We had Sancho, Rashford, and Martial. We were all rubbing our hands together about the idea of it. So fluid, so much movement, great pressing. It was like, yes, please. Rarely seen it because of injuries. And, of course, you've got Anthony to add into that. But Weghorst, I don't know why. I mean, I do know why. People are looking at him and going, Man United, our standards are high. Yeah, you're correct in that. But just the expectations on Weghorst, on a player that we signed as an emergency. Gary Neville called him a placeholder. That's exactly what he is. But people are expecting him to bang in goals every week. Look, he had 7 touches in that first half against Newcastle. And people are going to be slagging him for that. We never got the ball anywhere near him at all. We couldn't play it out from the back. We lumped it long. I'll tell you what, though. Isn't it incredible how little headers he wins? That's one thing that's always made me sort of scratch my head. How few headers Wout Weghorst wins. He's bloody massive. Surely you're going to be winning every single flick on. Hardly wins one. Always found that a bit strange. But yeah, for the Brentford game, it's not that the Wout Weghorst experiment needs to stop. That's the wrong way to phrase it. However, it's worked up until a certain point, but we are now in this period post the League Cup final where we're just floundering. And now Martial's back. Get him in that starting 11, man. Bring Weghorst on for the last 15, 20 if we need a different option. That's where I think he stays at the club. And I think he actually offers something different next season. He becomes a squad player, not a starting number 9 every single week. Nathan, I'm not expecting him to bang goals every week. Banging them in every now and then would be nice, though. It would be nice. He has only scored 2 goals. When was his second goal? Can't remember. Anyway. Wait, what are you saying down here? We need an elite striker and a backup 2 this summer. There's different reports coming out around like an 18-year-old from Brazil. In an ideal world, Manchester United will sign an out-and-out pure number 9 and also a really exciting prospect. Someone like Julian Alvarez. That will be a perfect type signing. And all of a sudden, with Haaland out, look at Alvarez and what he did against... He's a great player. And we were in for him. That's what... Remember that? Ragnick wanted him? Man United not going after him? Oh, well. That's what we need. I'd love us to sign a Kane or an Osimhen type striker and also an Alvarez type striker. 2 of them, giving us a firm first choice and also a backup, selling Martial, keeping Weghorst as a 3rd option. That's what I would do in an ideal world. Let me see what you're saying in the comments down here. People are talking about Makeda down there. Oh, well. Makeda, eh? What's he doing these days? But hey, I'm going to wrap this one up for the actually last couple of minutes. Fire in any questions you want. We'll do like a little Ask Me Anything at the end of this show because this will be the last live stream until, let me get my dates right. Until next Thursday. So I land back in London next Wednesday afternoon. So I should be back here. Actually, no, Wednesday evening, actually. So I should be back here on the morning of Thursday, which will be our first game against Sevilla. So that will be the next live stream. John, are you allowed to go away with that cough? Hashtag COVID. I've already done a COVID test. It's not COVID. Sod knows what it is, though. Sod knows what it is. I've had it for 2 weeks now. It is getting on my nerves. A little bit like that sound over there. New bathroom's getting fitted as well. It's all kicking off in United People's Towers. Mo, you're right. Honestly, mate, I should sack myself. Honestly, I'll say to everyone, there won't be live streams for a week, but there will be videos. I'm taking plenty of equipment with me. I'll be doing short videos on TikTok and Instagram, and also the non-live videos. They'll still be going out. So they're always going to be going there. Maybe do some poolside videos as well. That'd be cool. We can, and if I do anything, right, I'll drop the link in the description now. Go over to our, oh dear, not LinkedIn. That's terrible. Let's go over to, oh my God, what's going on here? If you go over to our link tree there, follow me on Instagram, because I might randomly do some Instagram lives. If I do anything live, it'll be over on the Instagram account. So follow us on there. Paperboy saying, what's your name on TikTok? /United People's TV. That's the username everywhere. TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. Thank you very much, everybody, for wishing me the best holiday. I'm looking forward to it, man. I really am looking forward to it. It's been a long old time. Steve Clifton, what's Instagram? I don't know. Social media these days, eh? It's everywhere. But I'll wrap this one up. As I said, the main talking points, congratulations to Luke Shaw on signing that new 4-year deal. I understand that. I think Ten Hag sees him as one of the players that he can really rely on. Shaw's not, if we're looking at the problems that we saw against Newcastle, I don't think Shaw was dropping deep enough to receive the ball. The whole team has to drop like 10, 15 yards. Rashford has to come back a bit. Sancho has to come back a bit. The midfielders has to come back. And then we have to move up the pitch together as a block, as a unit, all together. That's what we need to do. That's what we need to see against Brentford. My starting 11 will go out at around about lunchtime today. Won't be alive tomorrow morning, but then my match reaction will be going out from Morocco. Sod knows how I'll be able to do that, but I'll try. Big up to all of you. Jay, I'll say it one more time. You're an absolute hero. Thank you for gifting 50, but also thank you to, is it Svinor? It was Akil. It's all of you. Legends of the community. I can't wait to be back in a week. Much, much love. And let's finish with Barry.
We're gonna do it anyway. We're gonna do it anyway. We're gonna do it anyway. We're gonna do it anyway.
Finish with the Barry. You got to finish with the Barry. Take it easy, everyone. Love you all.